All right, pups, get on out. Wow, what a much better night. I put the dogs in the camper with me, and I kind of quartered them off to this area, just in the living area. Not my bedroom, not the back area. And what's nice is I'm getting up this morning, and I'm not picking up any poop. So, hey, good Monday morning there to you. It's a good Monday morning for me. It's a Memorial Day, and today is Memorial Day. The Memorial Day weekend is going to pass us faster than you can blink an eye, but here it is, the dogs. I put them in the camper with me a little after 9 o'clock last night, and then I got up early this morning about 5:30, and I let them out. And the good news is, I'm walking to my shop, and there's no fecal matter or urine in my space. So, I think I figured it out. And as you know, well, for the record, the dogs, I had the dog food bowls down all day. I mean, Gypsy, I know, ate at 4 or 5 o'clock. So, but the big thing is the pullback on the bones. Yeah, the bone days are gone days for me. That was just stupid. I don't know why. I don't know where the hell I got that idea. I guess it's just because the dogs are always eating everything. But once again, I think I figured it out. So now, as long as I stay on a routine of getting up early in the morning and letting them out, which isn't a big deal, and they're able to get out on their own. When they're younger, that wasn't so much the case. When they're younger, I just really wanted the experience with them living in the camper, or I should say them being with me side by side. So when they're younger, I just enjoyed them being in bed with me, being in the camper all the time, even though they pissed and crapped all the time in the back of the camper, which that was a routine every day of my life of cleaning that and blah, 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 blah. But as they've gotten older, them being in bed, no way. They're bigger, and now they shed. You got potential of a tick, fleas, and so for me, they're adults now, and so they're not getting in my bed. So I lock down my area of my bathroom and bed, but they can't get in there, and they just have their own area. So until you have German Shepherds, you'll see they shed a lot. That is one thing that goes with these dogs. And for me, we thought a year ago down there in Florida that I was allergic to kefir because of I was just hacking and coughing all the time. So the good news is the dogs are all crapping big time outside. So having them in that area with all three of them, I think they figured it out. You don't want to have to go to the bathroom or do anything in my camper. So that's a great thing, everybody. That makes my life a lot easier as long as I can stay on top of this. And so here we are, Monday, Memorial Day, as many people are observing the day of those that have perished, sacrificing their lives for us. And do we think about them much? Besides, all we do is think about ourselves. I mean, that's just who we are. You can take me as a perfect example. I use my channel, and as Brian K. says, it's therapy in some ways, which it is. I'm able to speak out, talk out. Why do people go to counseling? Why do people go have therapists? Because they go tell them their dirty secrets. So I guess in some ways, all of you guys are my therapists. I guess I got to send you guys money, I guess. I guess I'm looking at it all wrong. For all those that watch my channel, listen to me run my mouth all day of the woes, the unhappiness, but also you see both sides of the equation, which I think so many enjoy about my channel is just that you get to see the real deal. It's the raw footage. I don't edit it, monitor it per se. And now, for the record, the reason the deadbolt, well, let's just see. So the wife has been deadbolting the front door. Some people take that my wife is mad at me. That's not what's going on. The wife explained to me yesterday that the deadbolt is because when all the dogs are in the house, she'd deadbolt the door at night, but she got up early in the morning, let the dogs out, and she'd undeadbolt it. So let's just see if that's the case today. No, so it's open. Nope, you the back. Back, so it's open. Well, probably just all at the bathroom, so it's fine. So there you go. So that's what's going on. It isn't the wife being mad at me. So that answers that question. Even if Brianna's like, why do you keep on doing this? All right, I'll be right back. Come on, pups. Let's go. This here is pretty cool. I made my own little defense gate system here where all the dogs can hang out on the porch, locked down. Now, in some ways, I think the only thing I could ever think of me leaving town would be good would be maybe run a wireless fencing thing in this area here. But what they say is if all the dogs kind of are on the collars, it's unfair to the one dog because the other dogs escape the fence without being shocked or buzzed or noises or whatever it is, vibration, whatever it does to dogs makes it fearful. So you got to kind of do all the dogs, because otherwise other dogs are all hanging outside the perimeter or the other dog can't get out. All right, so as we venture over to the shop in the barn, on the Memorial Day, the dogs did get one of my shoes. It was my fault. So last night, I should have not left one of my shoes. So my brand new, nice Costco shoes, they're destroyed. And it's always something as the dogs want to eat something, right? And I think I'm going to give Brian off, just trying to kind of keep the memorial feeling of everybody's observing the day, of thinking about others that gave themselves up for us. So try not to be a work day, that's the goal. But for me, always projects. I really need to get motivated and do that water line under the house, but who wants to do that? So now it's feeding time, and let's get the other dogs. And come on, pups. Let's get the other dogs in. Come here, puppies. And let's get you guys back on schedule. Come here, puppies. Isn't this so nice? I'm not walking through the landmine. No. Okay, good. You go. Come here. No. Go on. You stay there. Come on, Ginger. Come on. Rebel's getting so big. Rebel's really getting to be a big dog. No, stop it. And he is a character. He just has that funny look to him. All right, let's see here. Get the big barrel open. The big barrel takes a lot. Takes a lot to fill this barrel up. But the good news is, it's a much better system. But Costco's not open this morning. I was thinking, I'll just run back up to Costco and get another set of shoes. But I verified when I was on there Friday, I think it was there Friday, getting my new glasses. And they told me that they're going to be observing Memorial Day. So anybody's thinking of going to Costco today, they're not open. But I would imagine that Walmart's open. I'd imagine Target's open. I imagine Home Depot, Lowe's. But I think just is Sam's. I don't know. You know, you would think Sam Walton, the founder of Walmart, you would think for sure Sam's Club would be closed because he was such a patriotic American that once he died, the whole family took advantage of the have everything built over across the country. That's why it's so puzzling if you look at, so puzzling and confusing on how our own country in so many ways has ruined itself. If you look at it through the eyes of the people that think that everything should be built here in America. And you just think about how it was all the greed of the big companies and the government forcing the hand for the people to go overseas to get cheap labor, skate all the environmental issues, skate all the child labor laws. So, I mean, it opened the door for you as an individual to abuse others in the world by using their society that abuses their the people that live in their country. And China is one of them. I mean, it's throughout the world, but China is the focal point. So if the greed of mankind here, they really did know. I'm sure, I can promise you, they knew that what they were doing. That's why they set up foreign divisions where they couldn't be held accountable for the truly the bad things that would play out over the years of the abuse of what goes on in the workforce. And so here we are. Everybody, your brother, jumps on the bandwagon of buying everything cheaper, made in China, made in China. Even though people bitch about it, they still buy it. I said it years ago. You pay half the price, but you buy it twice. So in the end, but in today's, if you only have X amount of dollars in your checking account right now, then buy the half price works. So the government, in so many ways, participated in helping China become what it is today. But yet now, fast forward to today, in China is a huge threat to our infrastructure in our country. So we say, because they control so much of everything we have. And now it's all about dismantling the whole thing that 50 years ago began under President Nixon of letting China come into the World Trade Organization. And so now it's time to dismantle it and bring everything back home to manufacture things. Or, in some ways, for China to open their doors so we can sell them goods. But what can they afford over there that we could make them? I mean, you ever thought about that? What can the Chinese afford? Do you think the Chinese can actually afford an American-built car? I mean, the Chinese are selling $7,000. I'm not lying to you. The Chinese are selling cars that are like $7,000, $10,000, $15,000. I mean, so how the hell? What does America have to offer to bring to China that would be affordable for the China population? I mean, I guess I'm just small-peed. And then I guess what people say is, well, you're not looking at it the right way. China needs to open the door for us to sell them stuff. That's the bottom line. Yeah, I don't disagree. They should. But in the end, do you really see our country now having things in China where people have made in America? I mean, I guess it could be a big market there. I really don't know. But here's the real story today, which is the Donald Trump. Now you know why so many people want to eliminate Donald Trump. Donald Trump is irritating so many people. I mean, he really is. He's pissing off a lot of people. But the biggest thing he's doing right now, pissing off, is the environmentalists, the green agenda. And if you're following the news, Donald Trump will have on his desk very shortly a bill that's decimated the Environmental Protection Agency and the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration. He literally has now ripped up the Nixon California Clean Air Act, and it no longer shall be the standard of our country to have to follow and listen to northern manufacturers toe heel to California's environmental pollution problems because there's too many people in that frickin' state. And I don't know. So the whole point is Donald Trump has just signed off on a bill that's removing all this bull crap, environmental guidelines, deadlines, the banning the sale of gas cars, all the tax credits going to these EV vehicles, the EV infrastructure. Yeah, Donald Trump truly, as we speak to you, has literally written a bill that's completely obliterating the whole green agenda's dream. So the good news is, as long as we can keep the bill in force, and as long as Donald Trump can pass the wand to the next guy, pass the pen to the next guy, all this green agenda crap is probably going to start to come to an end. But once again, easier said than done because so much money's been built of the infrastructure, so much money's been spent, and so to retract all that, do they? Or do they just kind of take a pause, knowing that some other guy will get elected, and then the green agenda will be back on fire telling you how to live your life? But for the moment, SEMA, Specialty Equipment Manufacturing Association, they're jumping up and down because they know that this green agenda is going to really make it very challenging for them to continue to supply the aftermarket parts for all these cars, ICE cars that is, because of the strict guidelines of just really eliminating emissions from vehicles. Well, once again, that's all been torn up. Under Donald Trump, he says it's a bunch of malarkey. You're a fool. These things are not destroying the country. It's not destroying the world as so many say it is. The Mother Nature is a lot stronger than you realize. The ozone is a whole different ball game. So he's basically saying, screw all you green agenda activists. And so now how do the big manufacturers respond to all this? That were all the, Jim Farley, the Mary Barrera, the Carlos Tavares, who's now gone. How do all the green agenda activists feel as Jim Farley was their little Muppet puppet jumping up and down, that they're going to be going all electric, man. It's all electric. They're going to be going full-blown electric. Now, that idea is really been kicked to the curb. So what are they going to do? You say to yourself, what's their position? What is the conversation behind the doors in the boardrooms? And I truly believe it is, all right, just slow things down. Don't obliterate the infrastructure we're building. Just slow it down. Once we can get this guy, Donald Trump, out of office, we'll find the right person that we can get the strings on, and we'll run this guy with our strings, and we'll start bringing all this stuff back. Because Donald Trump's a terrible man, but he only has one run left, and his run is already, basically, he's already at 2.5 years of doing things, maybe only a year, depending on what plays out in the House, the Senate, and the Congress, on who's in power. And legislature, does he have enough votes in the House and everything else to advance his continuing, decimate basically the Democratic Party, liberal-minded person's views on where this country should be going. So very, very interesting times for Donald Trump, who's breathing life back into the Ice Age, and he's breathing life back into what we feel is common sense. I'm sure for many people feel is common sense. Donald Trump has more of that. Donald Trump is getting aggravated with Putin. I mean, sadly, how do you get rid of the Russia war? How do you get the Ukraine thing to stop? Remember, Trump was saying he can make some phone calls and put that to end. I don't think most people believed it. Thought it sounded good, sounded nice. But Ukraine and Russia, that ain't stopping. Russia's even getting more aggressive. And now Trump is calling Russia, or I should say, now Trump is calling Putin a crazy man. Yeah, he's lost it. He's crazy. Sounds like Iceman. Some days on his video channel of him going crazy when all he's looking at is picking up dog crap all day long, and that just eventually gets to you, man. It just wears you down. That's the biggest thing that happens. You just get worn down. So now with the and what's interesting about this too is I started the Ice Age TV really toe-heeling off the EV age, meaning that I really felt like, oh, here we go. The Ice Age is going to totally be dismantled, and I'm going to start a channel called Ice Age, where it's just devoted to talking about the internal combustion engine age and then the EV age that's on our doorstep, that's evolving quicker than probably most would think. So a lot of my channel theme from day one really was about the Ice Age and then the EV age taking our ice away from us. And you know as well as I do, back in 2021, 2022, really, when Joe Biden signed the new Green Deal Act, a.k.a. the IRA, Inflation Reduction Act, all the language of that thing just totally toe-heeled all the billions of dollars going to advance the green agenda, electric vehicles like never ever seen in our country, at the taxpayer's expense. Not only at the taxpayer's expense, but at the automotive industry's expense. I mean, so the whole infrastructure of what, it's just a double, triple, quadruple whammy, because not only is the government taking your tax dollars to subsidize trying to transition this industry and transportation from ICE to EV, but then we all witnessed how all the cars became extremely expensive. And everybody you just have to say so, but why? Why did all these cars that were $50,000, $60,000 cars became $70,000, $80,000 cars? Why did all the $80,000 cars become $100,000 cars? Why did all the $100,000 cars become $120,000 cars? Why? And just from like 2022, 2023, 2024, we had the biggest increase in pricing of cars ever in that short time frame. And we always were told it's because of the pandemic. the shortage of materials, labor, blah, blah, built BS. No. It's the automotive industry saw they had no choice but to pay for the ICE age to have to pay the way for the new EV age, for the whack jobs of the world and the governing bodies of the world, forcing the hand for us to transition to a different way of propelling ourselves down the road. So it's so bad. But now with Donald Trump pulling back on all this, all these manufacturers should be saying, hey, this is great. We can give discounts again. We can reprice these cars 10 or 20 grand less because we don't have to carry this stupid EV build out like we thought we were going to have to. So where is the big new pricing? But wait a second. Now there's a tariff. Well, forget that. Because now Trump's put tariffs on these imported cars, the Mexico cars, the Canada cars, the parts, blah, blah, blah. So here we go again. So one side, Donald Trump does great things. Other side, he creates even more havoc for you and I to pay more money for more things. Now I get it. He wants to create the World Trade Organizations to come to the table and be more fair and balanced with the country of the United States instead of the non-favoritism to our country. So, yeah, okay, great. But once again, I can't wait to hear the stories in the future. I can't wait to hear the documentaries of big guys in big business that will raise their hand and they'll say, yes, the American people were definitely penalized for all the green agendas. Not only did they try to change their lifestyle, don't eat as much red meat, make portions at all the fast food joints smaller, but yet you spend the same amount of money or more money in other things with that. And they'll say, yeah, the green agenda did the biggest harm financially to the Americans. And it could be over in Europe, but I don't live there. I can't talk that language. And it's going to be, it's going to be full disclosure on how, yes, these cars, the parts didn't cost anymore. The labor didn't cost anymore. It was all them trying to shovel money into the electric vehicle fund to let them transition to electric vehicles, which they didn't have the monies or the deep pockets to transition into these cars. But the biggest thing is they couldn't make them affordable enough, so they had to use the ICE vehicles to even try to even be close to being affordable enough. And that's just a whole nother story. All right, it's Monday, Memorial Day. I'm about done talking. I just thought I'd share another day of me ranting, talking, and whatever you want to say it is. And what do? I think my propane tanks, it's cool up here. It's the 40s at nighttime up here. And this week is going to continue to be cool evenings and just nice, really beautiful days, 70s. And so now let's see how this thing's doing. Still pretty good. This one here is empty. So I don't know if I need to get those things filled up or not. I'm sure Tractor Supply will be open. And yeah, then it's just all about me. I mean, the reality is I need to get a lawnmower. If you really want to keep your yard looking really good, I'll be cutting grass today. If you really want to keep your grass in your yard, because if you don't cut it in the timely manner that it starts to get tall, you have a lot of grass clippings. And the grass clippings get into the grass, and then you get brown spots and dead spots because all the grass clippings are so heavy and thick that it then makes it so your yard has lots of leftover grass debris. And so now, I already know one thing I'm doing, just walking around looking at my grass. I will definitely be on the lawnmower before the day is out. I put on my Rolling Thunder shirt today from when Julie and I think that was 2022, or was it 2023? I can't remember, when Julie and I went to Bristol, Tennessee, and I bought a 4-day pass, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Really too much. If you go to the NHRA drag races, I would buy a 2-day ticket, maybe 3-4 days, you're exhausted. So I actually have that on my channel of Julie and I going to the NHRA down in Bristol, Tennessee, and us really having a good old time down there. And since my mother-in-law lives right around the corner from that, it was only about a 30-minute drive for us to get there. And this morning, my wife dug up a lot of my older shirts that I have. This morning, I'm wearing now my Rolling Thunder, and it's only a large. It's not an extra large shirt, but I'm even amazed I'm fitting in. But I am losing a little bit of weight, not tons, but it is. Wow, it's hard to believe. That was so much fun. If you've never been to a National Hot Rod Association drag race, you really should go, because when those Top Fuel dragsters come, they're the key element of the show. It's the Top Fuel dragsters where you literally, the earth rumbles. Your seats in the stadium, your seat will be vibrating as these Top Fuel dragsters take off. It's the most exhilarating thing you can be part of. You'll never get that experience on TV. So if you have a chance to go to one of those events, by all means, you should go. I mean, would I go again? I would. Would I go for 4 days? No. I'd probably go for the Saturday, Sunday event. A lot of people just go for the Sunday event when it's all the finals. But Tony Stewart is now part of the bigwig guys. And Tony Stewart, he is a character, as you know. So he and Leah Pruitt, you just got to wonder the son they have. You can only expect the son one day. You go 20 years from now, you can only expect to see Tony Stewart, which I'm sure Tony's got to be in his late 40s or 50 years old, would be my guess. I don't even know. So it'd be interesting to see Tony Stewart, probably close to 70 years old, behind the scenes, watching his son. But which sport will his son be in? I mean, will he be in NASCAR? Drag racing. I mean, what is his, or does his son ever have it? But he's got Leah Pruitt and Tony's genes. You'd sure think they'd have it. You'd only wonder, you'd think they'd have one more kid, hoping it's a girl. I'm assuming that they have a boy, if I remember right. But I haven't looked it up. But I thought that's what I heard. But you don't even think that Leah would be all about having a Leah Jr. And how's Leah feeling with Tony being the driver's seat? I think she feels good about it. They're a team. And she took the steps aside to have a child and saw, I'm sure at this point, that's more important than sitting behind the wheel of a dragster. And will she come back? I'd imagine she will. Just wants to kind of get the little boy getting going in life. And until you have a kid, you don't get it. That's a lot of work, a lot of responsibility. That's a full-time job. I mean, people go nuts raising kids. You hear me losing it? You know how many sad stories there are of parents, women, even men just totally losing it. Raising 2, 3, 4 kids, and they're all very young. That's overwhelming. That's my mother. My mother had 3 young children, too young. My brother David and Rachel, they were all like within a little over a year apart. And then my other sister, I think she was like 3 years. I think she was 3 years or 4 years later. But then I was the latest. I was the most. There was definitely a timeout time. So I was the little baby of the family. They got all the attention, all the care and loving, because I was the youngest one. And by that age, my brother would have been like 8 years old, my sister 9 years old, my other sister like 5 years old. So I was kind of the highlight of the kid that got all the attention. And by that time, my parents had figured out getting the belt out and everything else just doesn't work. So I didn't get that. My brother and sisters did. Yeah, they didn't behave. The belt came out. That was the era back in the 50s and 60s, even the 70s. So, all right, there we are. The dogs are doing what they do best. They like to harass each other. So I'm going to wrap it up in another morning video that even myself am amazed I brought you content and something to talk about, which I'm amazed every day. Every day I get out of bed and I think to myself, what can I do with the Ice Age TV YouTube channel today that may bring X amount of people to come and view and talk and share their ideas along with me and think maybe we're next door neighbors and we're friends, which I think we are. So many out there I can so relate with you. And I think Randy Huff mentioned that he's part of this Doge thing. Sorry to hear that, Randy. So, wow, we all talk about hardships. And I talked about it yesterday on this Memorial Day weekend. Can you imagine? Only imagine all the stories of the hardships that so many that have perished that were so loved and cared about, and then they're gone. And you can never get that back. You can never get back that same personality, that same person. If you've been around long enough, you get that message that when people and get to be with in your life and have a very close connection, once you lose them, you'll never, ever get back that same friendship, that same person that's gone. There's millions, there's billions of us on this planet, but it's incredible how we're all so different. Even in the dog aspect is, if you have a dog and lose a really cool dog, it's the same story, to replace that special dog you had, you'll never have it happen again. That's it. I'm done. I'm not going to say Happy Memorial Day. I think that's the wrong word. I think it's just more about hope everybody has a nice observance Memorial Day. So God bless, and stay tuned for more conversations and entertainment on Ice Age TV.